Came back the next morning, put my hive underneath them, hit the bush. They all went in the hive. I put the lid on, left them there all day, came back and got them at night, and they're doing great. There probably weren't more than about maybe 10 or 15,000 bees, and I had to feed them because there wasn't anything for them to eat. But they're doing pretty good now, and it'll be probably 3 years before I get any honey off of them, but that's the kind of saves that we have to make to continue to have the food that we want.
I'm sorry, what are you feeding them?
Sugar water. Yeah. In fact, our store down there on the plaza, they have a lot of sugar that comes in that's broken,
Right.
and I get it and feed it to the bees. Okay, is there any more questions?
One more thing, John.
Yeah.
If you do have bee problems or something like that, and you want to take care of them yourself, do it after dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all bundled up in the group or in the hive or whatever after dark, and it's relatively safe there.
I would not advise you to, but if you want to, that's up to you. Another thing you can do is spray them with sugar water from a spray deal, and they won't be able to fly. They'll be busy cleaning themselves.
Oh.
Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
in the nation. They give 80% of their income actually to the resources. They only use 20% for administrative costs. And they are undertaking a lawsuit against Bayer Chemical in Germany, where the neonicotinoid is produced, to try to get them to stop this one chemical. They're not trying to shut down Bayer's aspirin production. They just want to stop the manufacture of this deadly chemical. And then there's another handout about, and if you contact them with the information that I provided, you can get a Save Our Bees bag, and it would be wonderful to see people walking around town carrying these bags.
Why don't you hand those out? Oh, yeah, no.
There's the Save Our Pollinators Act, introduced by a representative from Oregon, also to stop the use of the deadly pesticides that's killing the source of our food and, really the source of mankind. And then Wildlife Federation's Pollinator Gardens, some of us have already studied. A place where you can get more instructions about that. And then, again, more information about this, actually 3 different angles that Environmental Protection Agency needs to ban the neonicotinoids. Our federal legislature also needs to ban the use of pesticides, and then we need to stop the production that's promoting the sale of profit from the pesticides with fair control in Germany. And I have all this information. I'll take it all and take some signature or let out of the computer.
Good evening. I always like to talk about the school. Superintendent, you referenced a few minutes ago. I like the idea of keeping children out of jail. It's part of the education. Just a little fact that I'm kind of talking about. when the juvenile system incarcerates a juvenile, and they have to spend time not at the county lockup, but at the state facility, it costs about 3 to 4 times a year to do that with what the state pays public schools to educate kids. So, as a business model, it pays to keep kids out of jail. So I appreciate that. A couple things are happening, or have happened at the school. Next week, if Aho kids are stressed, it's not because of bees, it's because of AZ Merit, our new state test. It'll be the second year we've administered the test. It's rather lengthy. We do it electronically. We're trying to test all of our kids in 1 week thanks to some tech wonks that we have around the district. They're much smarter in that area than I am. So we're going to be doing that. Hopefully we'll have that complete by next Friday. There's a lot of research. Those of you who've been around kids know this, or those of you that have been in the education business, about how having books impacts literacy for children. I have an article I shared with Dr. Carriere, and my wife is a retired librarian, so I get all these things from her. One piece of research showed that it's a 20-year piece of research in 27 countries, not just Aho, not just Arizona, across the globe. By putting 10 books in a home as opposed to 0 books, it doubled the number of years a child stayed in school. That's just one statistic. So, in that vein, thanks to Dr. Carriere again, working with United Way and Scholastic Books. Those of you that have had children have probably had to shell out some money over the years to buy books for grandkids or for your children. It's a good investment, by the way. They donate books to kids in grades K through 2. Was that a week ago Monday? Pre-K, thank you. Pre-K. Keep forgetting we got the real short ones over there. Last week, a couple of our parents, our SOS organized volunteers, we gave away $3,000 worth of books in Costello School to Diamonds. I don't think that's a lot. Every child got was 10 or 12 books. And the thing that was cool about it, Aaron mentioned this group of young people you see in town with great t-shirts, the NCCC group. They're very, those young ladies and gentlemen should become teachers in my opinion. In fact, I tried to recruit them, but they have a real good demeanor with children. They were sitting reading to kids, getting kids enthused, and it was, I don't know what it is about kids. It's almost like a developmental stage. If you're excited about a book, if you're talking to a kid about a book, they get excited about it. So there's a lot of enthusiasm as they're helping kids. And the kids got to choose their book. With some coaching sometimes, but so they took a lot of ownership. It was a great opportunity. One of our teachers, a high school and junior high social studies teacher, Mark Collins, wrote a grant through Donors Choose. The grant he wrote, again, he's a social studies man, rented or we got a map for about 2 weeks, almost as big as this room, of North America. In my travels as an educator for the last years, I find out when talking to little bitty people, and sometimes from families who don't have a lot of income, what'd you do over the holiday? Well, we visited Grandma. Well, where's Grandma live? Well, Grandma lives over there. Over there could be Sells or it could be LA. They don't have a feel because of lack of travel and just lack of life experience, what it's like to see the spatial relationship. So Thursday night last week, we had 250 people probably at school. We served all-American food, pizza, and teachers did booths, and we have some international teachers here, and they did some dances and so on and so forth. And the elementary kids had come into the gymnasium. We had to move physical education and health class for a while. They could stand in the middle of Kansas, they could stand in Vermont, or they could stand in California. It was a cool event. Had a lot of families involved with their kids and enjoyed that. Next week, if you're looking for Bob Dooley, I will not be here. I am going to be in Ohio, recruiting teachers. Dr. Carriere went to South Dakota a couple weeks ago. She's going to Phoenix tomorrow to recruit for NAU. Not for NAU, with NAU for us. We have a little much fewer vacancies this year than we did last year. We're constantly looking for good teachers. Arizona is, in my opinion, close to an educational crisis. We're losing an excellent teacher this year. Excellent. I'd take this teacher anywhere. One reason, money. Can't make a living on what we can pay in Arizona. So when our legislators wake up and realize that, maybe things will get a little bit better. Yesterday I spent about a half a day in Phoenix. There's an organization or a group that was formed by the government, by the state government about 12 years ago, 15 years ago, called the School Facilities Board. They don't, they oversee the maintenance, heavy-duty maintenance and construction of new buildings to keep school facilities safe and healthy for children. The problem is, last year's the first year the legislature funded them for about 6 or 8 years. Those of you who've been around for a while realize we had a new fire on August 21st, I believe it was. So within 7 months, this is where the hypocrisy comes, where I was talking about the books. We've been 7 months without a library because we had to shut it down. We had to gut the building. The building is close to 45 years old. It wasn't code. There were substances they used in the building in the 70s, early 70s, we can't use it. It had to be taken out. So it's been a long, drawn-out process. Our insurance company, our liability company, is paying for the lion's share of this. But they're saying, well, if it's a problem, it's a safety issue, the school facilities board should pay for it. So long story short, I had to write a grant. And it was a fight. But we were awarded $265,650 yesterday, which I was glad that happened. You know, we got to figure out the specs of it. So hopefully, I hope, I'm naive, we'll be back in the building in the library by Valentine's Day. Then I hope spring break. Don't look at the calendar, those are both gone. So now I'm hoping we're in the time school starts second week in August. So it's a long drawn out process. If you like music, there's a gentleman here in town, Victor Moreno. I knew Victor, believe it or not, I met him in Glendale, Arizona. He came from Ajo and came to work in the district I worked in up there. Victor has this music in the park thing. This will be the 3rd year he's done. What reason I'm advertising, not because Victor's a great guy and he has great bands, but at 10 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday morning, our band is playing. I'm proud of our band. Amanda Good does a very fine job with our kids. They're playing from 10 to 10:30. Last year, Victor collected money. He had a 50-50 raffle. So he gave the band $1,000 from that day. That helps a lot. So I'll be there. So if you're there, it's free. Kick in a few bucks from the band. We appreciate it, and thank you for the support of our school.
I would like to introduce Merle.
After 60 years, I'm used to it. Everybody's asking me about the pool. We haven't forgotten about it. It doesn't have water in it. We know that. We've been waiting for the tile, and we've been told by the contractor that the tile should be in another week. They're going to set the tile the week of the 21st. After they do that, they're going to plaster it at the end of April, and then we're going to add water and acid balance and add the bicarbonates and all that other good stuff. So hopefully they will have it complete by May the 5th. So, we hope. So, and we have some lifeguards. Didn't get as many as I wanted, but, you know, as we get closer to the pool opening, I know we'll probably have some kids come in and say, oh, I want to work. So we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Let's say what? Positive thinking. Hey. Karen and I both took our pool operator course, so now she and I are certified pool operators. So, not that that means anything, it just means that if somebody poops in the pool, we know what to do. The new picnic tables were taken out to this in March, and I may have said this on the last meeting. 5 new concrete precast picnic tables were taken out to the horseshoe, kind of arranged in the horseshoe area, but we left it an open space so you could maneuver around, and you know, you can have a head table, and there's a nice big grill out there. So everybody who was upset with me for taking out the old horseshoe picnic tables, that risk management said get rid of them, you now got new tables out there. Okay, plus a nice big grill. What else? Oh, the bees. Before anybody hangs me, okay, we did have a closure this week. We had to shut down the playground because the bees had gone into our irrigation system, and I've got the hive, if you want me to show that, it's right in there. We pulled that out. In fact, let me give it. It's like really cool, because I did this in such a short time. In about just a few hours, that's when we noticed them. This is what they had done in our little irrigation box cover, and they go in through this little, in fact, there's a couple of dead bees right there. I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but this was right next to the playground. So yes, we did have to shut the playground down. Somebody put on Facebook that we shut the park down. It's like, no, we didn't. We just shut the playground down because we don't want kids to get stuck. And so then it was taken care of in the evening, and I'm sorry, John. But anyway, so I mean, we have to think about public safety on our end. So, and I know some people, you know, have come up to me and said, why don't you call somebody? It's like, well, I can't. Risk management will not allow us to do that. We have special procedures that we follow. Swarms are okay. Swarms we don't, just leave them alone. They'll go away, and we do that. And you'll see around here, you know, we'll put the sawhorses up and some caution tape around and put a sign up that says bees in the area, careful, caution, all that good stuff. This was a little bit different. They were down in an irrigation cover, which they will do frequently.
And they built up those white things?
Yeah, that's the hive.
Yeah, that's the comb. That's the comb that
That's the
the
comb.
queen will lay the eggs in.
And they were already making honey.
It is expensive.
And that was just in what, a few hours, John, I think, maybe?
Yeah, probably,
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours. So, yeah, and you know, we don't like doing that. You know, my applicator, my pesticide applicator, his dad was a beekeeper in town, you know, and it's like, we have this kind of Buddhist moment for me, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, but I've got to protect kids. I've got to protect the public, so don't be mad at me, you know. Never do it again. And and thank you for putting that in the paper. We try to shove steel wool down in these irrigation hole covers, and I've told somebody if they ever invented a cover that had a hole that was covered, they'd make $1 million because, you know, we have to stick a gauge down here and pull it open, and it's like that's a great place for bees to come in. We've had rattlesnakes get stuck, you know, and then the body's hanging out. So we don't have to wait till the snake dies, or we have to off with the snake. Are there any questions? Because I've had a lot of phone calls at home in the evening this week about various things. So is there anybody who has any question about anything that is going on in all the other rumors associated?
Yeah, the cook.
What are the rumors?
The cook needs some help. She got help. We fingerprinted her new house. We did it for her because instead of having her go to Tucson, we just fingerprinted her because we're certified fingerprinters too.
Well, Tom takes care of that stuff too.
Oh, well, we did it. And so we got her in because they were saying, well, we're going to mail her the package. And I said, no, Marina needs help now.
She does need help now. She's a bus driver or a van driver.
Van driver, right. Yeah, so she's looking for somebody who wants to, if anybody, Auto Works, anybody wants to drive a van to deliver the meals. So, oh good, I'm not going to get the question I anticipated.
You tell us what the rumors are. We'll answer them. Anything really?
Oh God, I don't want to stir this pot.
Thank you, Darryl.
Thank you.
Lil has me down to report for the chamber. I'm glad you're here tonight. I don't think a lot of people realize it. It was never put in the paper. I resigned from the board on March the 18th from the Chamber of Commerce. But I'm still a member, and I still want to be in the market committee, and I just want to stay with that part. But as far as reporting on it, I would like you know more about what's going on. I've kind of lost touch. And the reason why is because my life has gotten really busy. I just got a full page in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Because Andrew just took off on us.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I don't have anything specific.
Report about the chamber.
Is there a new president on the board?
I don't know what's going on.
I heard Don Olson.
I can at least answer that question. Yeah, so Freeman did decide to step down, and the board of directors, per bylaws, started listing out people that we thought would be good additions to the board. Have approached everyone that we thought might be a good addition to the board, and everyone declined thus far. So we are looking to add for that additional slot. And then once that we have a full board again, then we'll visit the positions. But currently, Don Olson, as our vice president of the board, is acting president of the Chamber of Commerce. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a good answer right now on who that person is going to be. So if you've got ideas, call over to the chamber and let us know, because we're certainly looking for, it needs to be a member in good standing of the Chamber of Commerce, and definitely looking for somebody that is going to bring some energy and drive and push the needle in the right direction over there. So again, any ideas, member in good standing of the Chamber of Commerce, give a ring over to the chamber, and we would love to hear some ideas, because our ideas have turned us down thus far. Sure.
And on the call to the floor, Sarah Burgess.
All right, I'm super nervous. Can you guys hear me?
You're right there.
Stand in front of it.
Okay. I am a mother of 5 children from the ages of 14 down to 8. My kids are in 7th grade all the way down to 1st grade. We have a proposition coming up called Prop 123. I am passionate about this because it's going to hopefully bring money to our schools. So I did a lot of research and I wrote something that I just want to read to you guys really quick if you don't mind. Because we don't have paper anymore. You gotta get on my phone. Okay, a lot of you are probably wondering what Proposition 123 is. It's the K-12 education funding settlement agreement reached this year, which includes money from the state general fund as well as the state's land trust proposal. Because the state cannot allocate these funds without voter approval, so the Prop 123 was created. The voters approved Proposition 123. Over $530 million new dollars will flow to schools in the next 2 school years, which is about $200 to $250 per student. These dollars are flexible for schools to use as they need, as determined by individual school districts. We have the opportunity to change the face of education. All it takes is a powerful force to come together and push for better school funding. It takes parents, business leaders, teachers, other educators, community leaders. It takes people willing to work together with elbow grease and energy to push for our new schools' education. The settlement deal creates momentum for continued improvements in school funding. It should not be dismissed or diminished by those who find it less than perfect. It is less than perfect, but what isn't? But it is also a significant infusion of cash and an acknowledgement that schools need help. Rather than slam the door on what might be seen as an incomplete or flawed solution, those who have long advocated for better funding of our schools should rush in now and stay engaged. If approved by voters in May, the settlement will move hundreds of millions of dollars a year from the state land trust into our schools, that among the lowest funded in the nation. It will honor the will of the voters who mandated schools to be funded for inflation. It will not, as critics point out, move Arizona above 48th place in the national ranking for school funding. Clearly, that's not good enough for the state that wants to become an economic powerhouse. That's why giving into temptation to scoff and criticize would be wasting an opportunity. Those who care about education need to become an army and active and engaged people who will make it clear to lawmakers that they appreciate the settlement but want further increases for our schools. This will not only help public schools, but schools around the state. This will not only help Ajo, but all schools in our state. It's going to put $3.5 billion into K-12 education over the next 10 years without raising taxes. Not raising our taxes. Let me point that out. Because if it gets voted no, our school and other schools may have to do override, which will raise our taxes. This is a critically important important election, which is held May 17th, so go vote yes, and then attend her lovely thing. Addressing the funding of public education both today and in the future. I urge you to become informed and exercise your voice by voting. As a mother of 5 young children, I know firsthand the impact of a great teacher can make in a student's life. So join me and thousands of parents and teachers across Arizona in voting yes on Proposition 123. I don't do politics well, but I have done a lot of research. Is there any questions that I can possibly answer? Okay.
What was the settlement? I don't know, what's the term from, was there a court case?
Yeah, it's still going on.
If it's too long, I'll just read about it online.
I encourage you to get informed. It is quite long, but can I ask Dr. Dooley to?
In 2001, the voters approved a vision that said schools will receive 2% or inflation funding, whichever is less, every year. The legislature didn't obey that. They